Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Respected Madam Yusrina Abu Bakar, Chief Librarian, the 𝐓𝐢𝐭𝐥𝐞 Library at IUM. Respected speaker for today, Ms. Amina Tahren, PhD in Chemical Engineering and Sustainability candidate from Kuliah of Engineering at IUM. Academics and researchers, library top management, senior management, head of units, and colleagues from the 𝐓𝐢𝐭𝐥𝐞 Library at IUM. Officer within IIUM, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning. To gain barakah of our event, let us start by reciting Kitab Al-Fatiha. I extend a warm welcome to all our distinguished participants to the program on AI in Research Methodology Workshop Series number 3, 2024, with the title Data Cleaning and Machine Learning Mastery. Ladies and gentlemen, today's workshop is a collaboration program between the 𝐓𝐻MA Library and Center for Postgraduate Studies at IUM Gombak, aims to equip participants with the essential skills needed to effectively guide students and researchers on how AI can be a powerful tool to support their academic thesis and research papers. Ladies and gentlemen, before I introduce today's speaker, I have a few announcements regarding the session today. Please record your attendance, which is available in the chat box panel. Please be aware that this session is being recorded. Participants are not allowed to ask until the speaker allowed to do so. Please allow the speaker just to finish her slide first. You may put the question in the chat box. Q&A session will be open at the end of the presentation. Now it is my pleasure to introduce our speaker for today. Ms. Amina Tahren is a PhD candidate in the Department of Chemical Engineering at the Kuliah of Engineering, International Islamic University Malaysia at IUM. She hails from Bangladesh. Ms. Amina holds a bachelor's degree in Biochemical Biotechnology Engineering 2019 and a master's degree in Chemical Engineering 2021, both from the Kuliah of Engineering at IUM. Her journey in AI began with her final year project, where she worked with support vector machine for sensor data analysis. Since then, AI has been a self-learning journey for her, proving useful in numerous aspects. Inshallah, Ms. Amina brings a wealth of knowledge and experience to this workshop, making it an exceptional opportunity for all to us. So without further ado, I would like to invite our speaker, Ms. Amina Tahren, to deliver her presentation. Please welcome Ms. Amina.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everyone, and a very good morning and also happy Friday. So thank you so much, Brother Faisal, for such a beautiful introduction. And I want to really thank everyone in the audience for making your time to come in the morning and, show your enthusiasm about AI and how you can improve your research with AI. So really thank you for that. And also I want to thank the organizers, the library learning team, and the CPS, the Center of Postgraduate Studies, IIUM, for organizing such a beneficial workshop for the students. So a little bit about myself. Right now, I am in my second year of PhD. It is ongoing in chemical engineering and sustainability. And my topic is about water treatment, basically using electrocoagulation for water reclamation from industrial wastewater. So, okay, a little bit about AI. So AI, right now, it is inevitable. Wherever we go, we know that there is ChatGPT and there's so many apps that are coming up. So what is what is our stand at this point? Like, can we go without it? So the answer is no, we cannot go without it, because right now, everywhere in research, in technology, how AI has taken over, if we don't use it, we're going to be left behind. So basically today, I'm going to talk a little bit about how AI helps us it can help us greatly in our research methodology and help us be more efficient. So I'm going to share my slides. I hope you all can see my screen.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Thank you so much, Brother Faisal. Okay, let me. All right. So this is myself, Amina Tahren, and today I'm going to talk about AI in research methodology workshop, and specifically touching on data cleaning. Chemical engineering is my research topic, but I will talk about data cleaning and its importance in ML mastery. ML is basically machine learning, and every kind of model that you create, you have to, the fundamental is data cleaning, because we cannot build a strong building without a strong foundation. So if your fundamental is strong, if you can feed data that is proper, have high quality, clean data, then we can produce a strong model. So I will touch upon how we can use AI for data cleaning. So by the end of this session, inshallah, you'll be able to understand a little bit about the role of generative AI in research. The generative AI, one of the examples is ChatGPT. So right now it's a household name. Everybody knows there's ChatGPT. If you want to do anything, you want to go there to ask like, okay, what should I do? How should I start my work? Because research is a lonely journey, and it's a lonely journey, and there's nobody to tell you what to do. Of course, we have our supervisor, but he or she is not going to help us with our every single step in our research. So ChatGPT or any generative AI is a blessing in this age. So by the end of the session, you will understand the role of generative AI in research, because right now it's a very important tool, and you will understand the importance of prompting ability, because ChatGPT is out there. So a lot of people can assume that, okay, everybody's just going to ask the ChatGPT, and then they're just going to give all the answers, and then I'm just going to copy paste it. Then there's going to be plagiarism and all that. So it's not benefit for research. No. The thing is, ChatGPT is a tool. It's not a source. So basically, it's a tool that can help us. We have to use it like a tool. And for that, we need prompting ability. The only skill that we need here is the prompting ability. Like how we are going to prompt ChatGPT. That means how are we going to command? That is the skill. If you can ask correctly, then you will get the answers that you're needing. And that will help you greatly in structuring your research proposal and research methodology, and even analyze your results, and even present. And then I will touch upon data cleaning for ML mastery. So basically, machine learning mastery is a later step, but how data cleaning is a crucial step that you must understand is something I will touch upon, and how it will be made easy with ChatGPT. So research. Research is a multidimensional area, because here we not only have to use our cognitive skills, we have to actually use different dimensions of our abilities, right? Because it is not alone like, okay, you're reading some papers. No, you have to read the papers, you have to organize, you have to extract the information, you have to collect data, you have to design how you're going to collect the data. And you have to analyze, okay, how I'm going to analyze the data, because there are so many methods, and which one is better, which one is new, which one is old. And then again, you have to, after analyzing the results, you have to interpret it. How am I going to interpret it? is there new methods of interpretation? So am I going to use different visualization software, or am I going to use old school graphs, Excel, etc.? Or how AI can help me, or what is actually out there that I can really advance in my pursuit of research? So also in research methodology, structuring literature review, reading many papers, maybe hundreds of papers, and then organizing them, extracting information. These are actually a lot of work, and it's a huge pressure on our brain because it uses a lot of cognitive power from us. And here we definitely need a help. And ChatGPT, in my opinion, it came at the perfect time. So this is all about how we can use generative AI or ChatGPT in our aid, because it's a tool that can really help us, make our research more efficient and be a helping assistant throughout this journey of research. So what is the role of generative AI in research methodology as of 2024? So right now we are in 2024, and I feel like right now it is compulsory. Using AI is a must in our research methodology, in our most of our research aspects. Why? If we don't do it, there's going to be some consequences, because at the rate at which the research publications out the worldwide, the AI is being used, if we don't use it, if we don't adapt it to our current system, then we're going to be left behind in terms of speed, in terms of impact, and in terms of efficiency, because AI is allowing us to accelerate innovation if we know how to use it. And number two, it enhances the creativity and helps in the research impact. And finally, efficiency, because large sets of data, the ones that you without AI, you might have taken a longer time, but you can do it in a very much shorter time. Because for AI, they don't know if you're feeding them 100 bunches of data or 200. They're going to process it just like as you've given them only a single set of data. So this is something we have to use in our advantage if we want to actually speed up our innovation. So ChatGPT, I know there's a lot of contradictions. People say, okay, ChatGPT is going to make us not use our brain too much, and then it is going to keep us behind, and over time it's going to slow us down in some way in our brain function, etc., etc. But like every invention, everything is negative if we don't use it properly. So here we have to use ChatGPT as a tool. It is our tool because we are using the tool to help us what we are needing. We're not going to let it do everything and then we're just going to copy and paste. No, we still have our cognitive skills, but all we want to do is use the ChatGPT as a second brain. It's like a tool that can help us achieve our target. And it's a useful tool and not a source, as we have written here. And while using ChatGPT, any kind of generative AI, the most crucial skill that we need, I hope you guys can guess, is prompting ability. So the most important skill right now that we all need to maximize our potential of extracting the benefit of ChatGPT is prompting ability. And remember, the deal is in the details. I'm saying it again, the deal is in the details. I've written it down in a large font just so that it sticks in your mind, because I know ChatGPT is like, okay, you're going to open it before you do any assignment because you feel like you don't want to be alone, and then you will keep on asking them questions and they're going to give you an answer. But in research, this is what we have to change a little bit. You have to be a little bit systematic. And I'm no expert. This is completely based on my own research, my own findings while I'm carrying out my own research. So I'm really happy to be able to share with you my findings while I'm learning them myself. So the deal is in the details. Whenever you're asking a question, the more details you add, if you ask them in a systematic way with some details, you're going to get a more specific overview. So I'm going to give an example. Basically, prompting is asking questions. It's like interrogating. If you can prompt well, you can get good answers. And it's not going to be plagiarism because not two people can prompt in the same way. And then no two people will have the same project with the same exact requirements. Okay, so I'm going to show you in a bit. For example, this is a very nice prompt. If you guys want, you can take a screenshot. I've taken it from a very good professor from College of Kerala. So he actually gave us a list of prompts that we can use to actually help us guide in our research methodology. And just look at the prompt. This will actually help you get an overview that will really help you in your research methodology and structure everything. So here you can see, this is simple. No extra details are added, right? So here, act as a veteran research guide. So that means you are prompting the ChatGPT to act as a veteran research guide. And remember, ChatGPT is generative AI. So it's not like copy paste. They're just generating it live. So after the collection of data, you are focusing on the processing and displaying data for the research. So basically, you're giving them the task. So you have to ask it in this way. Let's look at it further. Your task is to enumerate the essential elements such as layout, labeling, scaling, and color that contribute to the clarity, accuracy, and visual appeal in data displays within research studies focused on. Then here you're going to add your research problem. I'm pretty sure in our audience right now, we have students from different backgrounds. Am I right? So it would be really
Yes.
nice if you can write it down in your chat, in the chat box. Just let me know which background, academic background are you from? Like which department? Are you from engineering or human science? Let me have a look. Computer science, okay, sociology, anthropology, that's very interesting. So we have a diverse set of researchers and students here. KICT, oh my God, computer science, law, political science, quantity surveying. Okay, that's interesting. Engineering, okay, hello there. Accounting, Islamic finance, okay, mashallah. That's amazing. So right now, computer science and IT students, I'm pretty sure this is too basic for you right now because you already know what's happening behind. Okay, let me minimize this. So right now, the computer students, the cybersecurity, I'm pretty sure you actually know a lot about the AI and the machine learning, and then the codings, etc., etc. But I'm really happy to see a lot of us from different departments where you're probably not much into coding and computer science and all this to actually use in your research. So this is for you and also for everyone, because here you will understand how to actually get into coding and how you can actually use ChatGPT in your help, in your research methodology and your research data collection, etc., etc. So as you can see, this is a prompt. This is a prompt that you can ask ChatGPT so that they can get into that mode of actually answering your questions. So this is just simple because here we have not inserted research problem, objectives, study method, and any inputs or requirements. So now let's add some details. So as you can see, I have made the prompt a bit more detailed. So I've also taken it from a professor that has been teaching this in a college in India, and it was very beneficial. So I have taken it to share it with you guys. So here, see, act as a veteran research guide. So this is important. You need to let them know what they should be acting as. So now you're focusing on selecting sample for the research, selecting sample for the research. So your task is to devise a theoretical framework that critiques the application of conventional sampling methods. So here, this is critiques. So this is basically will allow you to structure your literature review, because they're going to critically, they're going to suggest the framework that will criticize a subject. So critiques the application of conventional sampling methods in quantitative and qualitative studies. So the good thing about this prompt is that you all can be creative with it. And not all of us are from Kuliah of Engineering, right? Or computer science, etc. Here we also have students from human science, law, and IRK. That's amazing. And even in engineering, like for example, chemical engineering, we don't have much of coding, etc. So this is where we can actually take advantage of ChatGPT to actually bridge that gap. So here you can see in the conventional sampling methods in quantitative and qualitative studies. So our research, we always have data that we can analyze in a quantitative way and qualitative way. So here what we're doing in the prompt, we're already asking them, okay, these are the methods. Now you have to evaluate their appropriateness and limitations in the context of a research study on, and then here you put the title, investigate the correlation between dietary habits and the onset of type 2 diabetes in adults aged 40 to 60. So now you can be creative because you are from different departments. So you can actually adjust this according to your own research field. So suggest innovative sampling techniques. So here you're saying suggest innovating sampling techniques that would be more effective, providing a reasoned argument supported by academic literature. So what I'm saying is this will actually give you a good framework to start with, right? You don't have to complete. For example, you have research and then you have to start and how. So you want a good framework where you can build upon. So this is a very good start. So here, let's read it again. Your another task is to suggest 2 or 3 new and original research paper ideas. So this is a bit cool because I know we've been using ChatGPT for a while now, but I've never thought about this one. Your another task is to suggest 2 or 3 new and original research paper ideas that could be published in high-impact peer-reviewed international journals in the same field of research, addressing similar research problems. So this was, okay, it's like, okay, this prompt covers everything that I want that's in my mind, but I cannot say it and I never type it. So it's like, okay, very good job. So the ideas should represent unique and novel contributions to the field, ensuring that similar papers have not been published elsewhere. Then you added your study method, right? Administer a structured questionnaire to random sample of 500 adults from various health clinics and analyze the data using statistical regression techniques. So this one you can actually modify it based on your own department. For example, in KOE, it can be probably optimization. We're not probably going to use structured questionnaire, or maybe you're going to use experimentation, etc., etc. So here is where you're going to use the creativity and modify this prompt. So let's have a demo. Okay, let me open my ChatGPT. Okay, let's copy this. So really, ChatGPT is a blessing. Like, okay, if you want to start with a blank page, why if you know how to prompt the ChatGPT to cover comprehensively all the important aspects that you need in your research, then you can come up with this beautiful framework that will give you actually a big head start in your journey. Okay, so let's go through. So here is what we got. Theoretical framework for sampling methods. So here they actually covered everything. Conventional sampling methods in quantitative and qualitative studies. Conventional, that means whatever is ongoing. So here they have simple random, stratified sampling, and then purposive sampling. And for each and every method, they have shown the appropriateness and then their limitations. So this can easily help you from the literature review or just for your own understanding. Also, they have snowball sampling. Okay, now they have innovative sampling techniques. So they've already given the conventional, like what is existing now, and then what are some innovative techniques. So just look at it, how impactful this is in our research writing, because they're clearly telling us what are the conventional and what are the innovative sampling techniques. So this can help us in our research gap and how we are structuring our research proposal and even our thesis. So you can look at these innovative sampling techniques here: respondent-driven, time, location, adaptive sampling. So for each of them, we've asked for their reasoning, the logical reasoning, like why we should use this one, and their application. So now, remember, we have added another prompt about suggest some novel research paper ideas. So look, the role of microbiome diversity in relation between dietary habits and type 2 diabetes onset in middle-aged adults. So they're actually suggesting you novel research paper ideas. So this is actually a very good start, because you can clearly modify this or build upon any of these, because they actually provide even the rationale. So they're suggesting the novel research paper ideas here, 1, 2, 3 of them, and then they're actually showing us the rationale. So these ideas aim to contribute uniquely to the field by addressing underexplored aspects. So then, suggested methodology for original study. So here there's a suggested method. This is something we have entered, and then analysis, use statistical regression techniques to analyze the data. So this is the beauty of adding a detailed prompt. Remember when I said the deal is in the details? That's all that I'm talking about. So here, all that we have gone here is going to help us head start our journey in our research proposal, research methodology, and if we can add the specific, if you want to be more specific here, we're going to get more specific directions over here. All right. So now my focus is on data. In any research, or in your thesis, in your proposal, in a methodology, the most important part of research is basically data, and then analyzing it so that you can turn into a meaningful conclusion that can actually change our lives. So that is the purpose of data. Because if you are submitting your thesis, the most important part of your thesis is your method. If your method is fine, that means you are doing things properly. It's the most crucial aspect, because your method will actually create the results. And then from there, everything starts. Your method, the results, and then the analysis. So in the method, you need to really carefully craft your method. Because if your method is wrong, that means, okay, all the results that you're getting, you cannot really, there's no reliability. We cannot rely on them. So in the end of the day, all the data that you have, you want to turn it into something meaningful. That is the purpose of research. All the data that you're collecting intentionally, logically, in a systematic way, is actually to create a model to devise a conclusion that will actually help in a cause. And the reliability of your model, like the final product that you're going to get in terms of a model, like it can be machine learning model or a formula that actually explains something. So that one, it will depend on the quality of your training data. And right now I have shown you, like previously, the ChatGPT prompt, how it improved our output. The output that we can get from ChatGPT is improved just by using, just by adding more details in the prompt and asking them in a systematic way. And every time, if you ask a question, every project is going to be different. And the more specific it is, the more specific is going to be the framework that you're going to get. And that is extremely advantageous for us as researchers. And The reliability of your model depends on the quality of your training data. So remember this when we studied in computer science, maybe in high school, that I remember, garbage in is garbage out. Like in computers, if you put in garbage, you're going to get garbage out. So that means if we are going to use AI, we have to be a little specific, because if you add in garbage, it will actually show out some garbage. So 𝐓𝐢𝐭𝐥𝐞, yeah, I remember that one. So that means while you are training a model, where like if the model is for an experiment, and then you want to describe, this model will describe your experiment, right? But how accurate it is, how reliable it is, that will be determined by the quality of your data. Because if you feed in data that is it has some repetitions, or there is like missing values, etc., or duplicates, then the final result that you're going to get is going to be not reliable at all. It's not accurate, because a small mistake in the data, or like a repetition or missing value, this can actually affect the whole model. So that means the predictions with this model is going to be unreliable. So that's why if we can understand the importance of data cleaning and how to use AI to help us with it, then it will actually build us a strong foundation for mastering machine learning or any kind of model creating. So I just want to know if any of you have coding background. If you have, just say yes, and if no, then just say no in the chat box. Okay. Yes, yes, Siti Shara has some experience. No, no, no. Okay. Okay, then this is for you. I can totally understand this feeling, because I'm in chemical engineering background, and then we need to have some kind of coding experience, but not really too much, because if I'm not in computer science or communication engineering, I do not need so much programming. So I did not really focus on programming, but later, right now it's the generation of AI. And then everything is taken over by AI. And I was like, okay, now we have to, we have to be on track, because we don't want to be behind, and we need to be up to date. So I was like, okay. But I have not extensively studied programming. Now, what am I going to do? Everything is going to be harder for me. But then we have ChatGPT. You need to know how to use it. And turns out that we don't really need to learn every single programming language. And those who already know, then it's a plus for you. And those who do not know, then this is for you. If you do not have a coding background, then ChatGPT. ChatGPT just creates all the codes for you. And data cleaning. Data cleaning is basically you are trying to fix the data, make it look like a very nice, organized manner. Because if you can provide this nice, organized data, then you can get a good model. Because this data is the training data. If you can provide the quality data, then the final product, the model is going to be very good. And this data cleaning is actually a lengthy process if you're just doing one by one and just slow methods, etc. But right now, we can, with AI, with the help of AI, we can actually deal with huge amount of data. For example, 500 data in our previous example, even if it's 500, 1,000, no matter how big of a data it is, like a lot of research, they work with medical data or a big database, right? So imagine fixing one by one. So here is how we can use AI to help us actually ease the data cleaning process. So actually, if you're using the conventional way, it's actually a lot of processes. Like in a coding software, what you have to do is import the libraries for data cleaning, it must be able to read the data from a CSV file, remove unwanted features, then it will strip before and after white spaces. Remember, in a document, they can just have a lot of errors, like maybe some values are missing and some values are repeated, and maybe there are unnecessary spaces in a spreadsheet. So these can actually affect our later forward when you want to process it. So maybe some of them, the type is different, like the type is supposed to be text, but then it's a number. So it could be different type, and then maybe rounding function, view, export the results. So basically all of these processes, right? So it actually looks very tedious and you just feel very overwhelmed and you're like, okay, then I don't want to do all this programming because too many numbers, this and that. It's like, okay, I used to think about that in programming in such a way. That was my view towards programming, because so many codes and letters and numbers and symbols, and then if you just do one thing wrong, there's error. So yeah, I don't want to scare you, because yeah, that's all it's all about, coding and everything. But then we have ChatGPT. So this is how we have to take advantage of ChatGPT, because they actually write the codes for you, and now you just need to tell them exactly how and what codes that you need. So basically, data cleaning, if you want to do the data cleaning, is basically you're preparing the data before you can actually apply any kind of machine learning or any kind of analysis or any kind of analysis. Like, for example, if you want to find a relationship among the data to actually support a hypothesis, etc. So that's when we need data cleaning. So normally we can do it in Excel. And then if you want to be a little bit more advanced, then you can explore Visual Studio Code, basically VS Code, here where we can use a bit of programming languages. Like we have a set of programming languages that you can use where you are going to analyze the data. So I know this is going to be a bit difficult, especially when we're touching upon the Visual Studio Code, but I want to show you how you can do in Excel, the data cleaning, and by using the codes generated from ChatGPT. So data cleaning in Excel made easy with AI. So this is one of my recent findings while I am carrying out my research. Like even in Excel, when we are trying to make the data in a clean format, what we can do is actually apply AI. For example, we need to have a developer tab. Okay, let me show you my Excel. Okay, I want to share with you so you can practice it as well. Let me just share this. You can download it as an Excel file. Okay, so when you download, make sure you download it as Excel, in the Excel format, not the CSV format, because that it does not support some actions that we're going to do. So this is only for practice. So here you can see this is an example of data. I want to hide this. All right. So let's say this is a bunch of data that we got for analyzing. So here you can see how many titles we have: transaction number, date, product name, product category, unit sold, price per unit. So basically these are the headings. And then we have the dates here, we have the product names, and we have product category and all this data. So you can see we have data from until I-100. Okay, so we have data from A1 until I-100. So what are the problems here? So when we have a data like this, it is important to note, like, do we need to do some data cleaning? Of course, when we look at it, we do need to do some data. We have empty spaces here. Like as a human, we can easily see, okay, we need to ignore this. But the computer doesn't know how to differentiate this. They're going to take this as an input, and that is going to hugely affect our result, our model, our machine learning model, or any of our models that we are working with. So data is very important, and we need to prepare it properly. And imagine you have thousands and thousands of data, and you're going to one by one remove it. So that's going to be extremely difficult. So what you're going to do is take some help of an AI, because even if you have 2-3 changes to do, even if you have 100 changes to do, AI can just do it in a moment. So the problems that we can see here is, look, we have empty spaces here, and the reference column, every digit is same. So let's say we want to remove this, and then we want to remove empty spaces here, and then we want to remove unit solds that are 0. Let's say 0 units were sold. So we don't want to keep it in the database, because it's not going to help us in our model, because nothing is sold here. So what are we going to do? We have to create a prompt. Remember how I have talked about prompting ability? So basically, this is the age when we need to know how to specifically ask for what we want. Not only in research, not only for our generative AI, but also for life, to be more specific about, okay, what you want in your life. Similarly, also specific about what are the questions that you're going to structure that will allow you to get more specific outcome. So here we going to write a prompt. So I'm going to share it with you guys. This is a prompt. Just give me a moment. Okay, so I know right now you might be wondering, where's the developer tab? Because in my Excel, if you can see, we need a developer tab. I hope you can see this. This is the tab, and this one is not really available unless you change some settings. You guys don't be scared, because we can actually just change some settings and get it in like maybe 20 seconds. You don't need to download anything. So I will show you how to do it. Just follow these steps. Like if you're using Windows, first you have to open Excel. You go to the File, Options, then in Excel Options, select the Customize ribbon and check the box next to Developer, and then click OK. And if you're using Mac, just do this. Open Excel, click Excel in the top menu. For example, I'm using Mac right now. So if you're using Excel, go to Preferences and then click View and check the box next to the Developer in the ribbon section. So I have already done that here. Go to Excel, Preferences, View. See Developer tab in the bottom. You see that? Make sure it is checked. And then immediately you'll have this Developer tab here. So you guys can actually do it right now. I'm giving you guys a minute so you can actually attempt it. So this file is in the Google Sheet I've shared with you in the chat box. So download it as Excel file, not CSV. So after downloading that, try to get this developer tab with this instructions. So I'm going to give you guys 2 minutes to actually attempt this. Nur Shahila says done. Very good. Okay, inshallah, I'm going to share the slides. Brother Abu Atiyah. Okay, done. One Azlina is also done. Okay, a lot of you guys are done. Just wait for a few more seconds. Okay, good. I'm going to go to my Excel. All right. So right now, I am expecting you all will have this in front of your screen. You will have this Excel sheet that you have downloaded from the link. And then you have this developer tab here. So now here, look at this Visual Basics. Visual Basic, this is the place where we can actually apply some codes. And that's why we say VBA codes, right? Because in programming language, we have C, C++, JavaScript, Python, etc. So we can prompt ChatGPT according to that. Like if you tell the ChatGPT, can you give me Python codes for doing this function? Then they're going to give a set of codes accordingly. So similarly, for Excel, we have to say VBA codes, means Visual Basic. So just remember that because we are using Excel, we're going to prompt ChatGPT to give us some Visual Basic codes to do the task that we want. What do we want? Right now, we want someone, like, because this is a big task and we don't want to do it, right? We have better things to do than one by one, remove the spaces, capitalize one by one the data here, remove the zero sold, and then etc., and remove the reference column, etc., right? So why we are actually employing ChatGPT to do it for us, or any AI. So right now, the Visual Basic is where we can add the programs, and here, but we don't want to code. We don't, right? Who doesn't want to code? Me too. So what we're going to do is magic prompt, because right now, since we have ChatGPT, now our power lies in how skillfully we can give the prompt. So the one that I've shared with you right now in the chat a while ago, let me bring it back. This is exactly what we want. This is a demo of how we can actually give the prompt. So whenever you're free, you can actually put this in ChatGPT. What we're actually telling them to do is, this is what we are telling ChatGPT. Copy it. I will go to ChatGPT. Yes. Okay. Let's do a new one. Okay. Just have a look what I'm telling ChatGPT to do. Do the following task in my Excel sheet, which contains the data in the range from A1 to I100. Column A to I, headings are transaction number, date, product name, product category, unit sold, price per unit, total revenue, salesperson, and everything, respectively. So if you can write this information, then ChatGPT has actually understood the assignment. So I want you guys to actually take a note on how to actually prompt in this situation. Again, let's read again. Do the following task in my Excel sheet. Just imagine ChatGPT as your assistant. You need to give them accurate instructions so you can get the actual result. So you guys can say this as well. Do the following task in my Excel sheet, which contains the data in the range from A1 to I100, as we have seen in the sheet. And then column A to I headings are this, and this, respectively. That means you have already specified the headings as well. So write a VBA code to do the following tasks. You know, VBA is basically Visual Basic that we have in the Excel, right? So write a VBA code to do the following tasks. Number 1, to remove all the blank rows, remove all the records whose unit sold is 0, change data format to month, date, and year, remove the entire reference column. Okay, this is just an example what you can tell them to do for you. So see, ChatGPT not only gives you the codes, but they're also giving you the explanation. Like for number 1, what does this mean? Number 2, finding the last row. Okay, since we're not from this background or we don't have like much proficiency in this, we're just gonna skip that. It's too much. So we're just gonna look at the codes. They said these are the codes. Okay, let's copy it. Oh, there's a shortcut here. Copy code. Copied. So we're gonna go back to Excel, where's our sheet is. And then we have the developer tab. You click on it, you're gonna go to the Visual Basic. So in Visual Basic, this kind of window is going to appear. So then what you're going to do is click Insert and then Module. So here I'm going to paste the codes. After pasting the codes, I'm just going to close it. And then close it. Then right now, you're going to go to macros. It's just beside the Visual Basic. And here, see, they already have this cleanup data. This is the one that we just recently put the codes, cleanup data. Then we click Run. Did you guys see what happened? We just clicked Run. And now, all the data is sorted out. The dates are changed to day, month, and year. Product names are there. Units sold 0 are gone. The reference column is gone. Like how long did it take for us? It was just a click, right? So here we just had 100 data. But imagine we have thousands and thousands of data. So, and imagine how efficient AI can be in this. So imagine if AI can do it for us, then imagine the amount of time we have saved for ourselves. So how we can use this in our research is based on your creativity, depends on your data. So whatever data you have, and then you want to create some codes for it, to clean it, to analyze it, to make it in a way that will actually give you, to make it in a quality form, so it can give you a proper model. Then this is something you can explore. Can you please repeat? Sure. Basically, I'm going to open back the Excel sheet. Make sure you download it in Excel format, not the CSV. So these are the practice data where there's a lot of errors, as in we have a lot of missing values, blank spaces. And then here we want to remove units sold are 0. And then we want to remove the reference column completely, right? In different kind of data, you can give different kind of prompts, right? And then you can go to your chat. Nifi Amin says, is it okay if I use Copilot instead of ChatGPT? Yes, up to you. because it's also a good, very good AI assistant, even though I have not explored it yet, but yes, I've read about it. Okay, so these are this is what we call it magic prompt, because this will actually allow us to get the exact codes. So you can actually save it, because every time you're going to get different set of data, but you just need to mention, do the following task in my Excel sheet, which contains the data. Basically, you're telling them from where to where is the data, right? Here we said A1 to I100. And column A to I, the headings. You just mentioned all the headings one by one. And then you said respectively. And then finally, the actual question is, write a VBA code to do the following task. And then you put all the tasks here. Let's say if you want more tasks later, then you can add tasks like, okay, if you want to remove even extra columns, etc., then you can add that. So we have copied this. Copy. If you want to use Copilot and if you're comfortable and familiar with it, please go ahead. Here I'm going to use ChatGPT. So and if you're an enthusiast, whenever you're free, you can have a look at all the codes that they're producing. And especially in ChatGPT, they actually give you an explanation of every single output of the codes, like why they have used setting the worksheet. Then they give you the details here. And finding the last row, they actually section it and at the same time give you an explanation of why they have used the code, right? They even give you a comment here, like adjust the sheet index if necessary, etc., etc., etc. So copy the codes here, or you can just click here, copy code, and then go to Excel. Okay, this is the part you want me to repeat, right? So here, just have a look first. We have the headings here, and then it starts from A1 to I100. Look, 100, I, until here is the data. So we've mentioned that, we've mentioned the headings, and then we told them what are the VBA codes to do some of these tasks. So first thing is click the developer tab, and then you go to the Visual Basic. So when you are in the Visual Basic, I hope you're following with me. Let me do it a little bit slowly. Insert. So once you're in the Visual Basic window, you go to Insert and then click on Module. In the module, in this white window that you got right now, paste the codes that we got from ChatGPT. So after we paste it, just close this as well. And then you're back in your sheet. So beside Visual Basic, there is this Macros tab. Click on the Macros tab. And then they already have this cleanup data. Everything is there. Just click Run. See the difference? Whatever we told them to do, just did it. Okay, because look where's the reference column? It's gone. Where are the blank spaces? They actually listened to it. And then the date is also sorted out. And then what about the unit sold 0? Gone. See? So if we are able to use AI in this way to actually help us in our work, then imagine the time, the effort, everything that we are saving. And also because there's so much data and we are humans, you know, it's inevitable that we miss out some values. Maybe we're going to miss one value at least if there's more data, because imagine we work with 500 data, 1000 data, etc. We're probably going to miss 1 or 2, and that's going to hugely affect our result. And it's very, very important that we are actually very meticulous about how we deal with the data cleaning. So here, AI helps us to get accurate data cleaning. So here, you know, we can miss a value, but you know, this computer is not going to miss. So even there are thousands of data or 1 million data, they are not going to miss a value. So everything is going to be specifically followed. So I hope you guys are on track with me here. Okay. I just want to know if you guys are on track, or do you guys want me to repeat? Just let me know. So that's great. Clear. Repeat. Okay, no problem. On the left here. So that's great. Still confused. Okay, okay. Yes. For the first time, if you're going to do it, it's going to be definitely very confusing. So I want to tell you guys that there are actually two ways that you can use data cleaning, right? You can use in Excel. And then the second one, it's a bit more complicated, but actually more beneficial in the long run, is the Visual Studio Code, the VS Code. But that is something we're not going to touch today. But today we're only touching on Excel, because Excel, we already know, everybody knows how to use Excel. But adding this Visual Basic part actually eases data cleaning in a huge way. And I think we all should appreciate that and then actually make use of it in our research. Very clear. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. For those who are confused, I'm just going to repeat it. I will just tell you what to do. 1 second. You can have problems if you download it in CSV format. So make sure when you download the Excel sheet, it's in the format, in the Excel format, not CSV. Okay. And then I hope you're not having problem with having the developer tab here. So make sure if you just do the setting once, then you're going to have it forever. So no need to change anymore. So after that, you have to use a little bit of ChatGPT. Can you repeat from after copied, please? Copied. Okay. I have an idea. Yes. Okay. So after we give the prompt, this one I've shared with all of you. We got this from ChatGPT. Okay. Make sure you copy the codes here, the black one here, not all these data, because these are all just instructions, right? These are the tasks, and then they are just breaking it down so that we can understand it better. So we copy code here. So let me share this with you guys in the chat. Okay. If you guys are having trouble, you can just copy this and then go back to your Excel. What you will have to do is click the developer tab and then go to Visual Basic. And remember, in ChatGPT, we asked them to generate VBA codes, right? VBA is for Visual Basic. So when you click on it, you're gonna get a different window. This is not really Excel. It's now you're in a Visual Basic that is integrated into Excel. So here you have to insert module. And then you'll paste the codes here. After pasting the codes, just close the window, this one and this one. And then go to macros and just run. Click the run button there. So after that, you're going to see all the changes here. So basically, you can see how AI helped us, even though we do not know the codes, the VBA codes, the specific instructions. One thing I know about coding and programming is that you need to be very, very careful with all the notations, right? My friends here from engineering, cybersecurity, KICT, you guys agree with me, right? Like you need to be so specific and so accurate with the full stop, the semicolons, all the brackets, small brackets, the big brackets. So you have to be very specific with all the codes before you can get the correct output, right? So, and if one line is a bit wrong, or maybe you probably missed a semicolon or probably a full stop, you've missed it, then it's going to show an error. So you're gonna have to fix the error one by one, and that's the thing that actually really discouraged me from pursuing programming further. But actually, if you can solve the errors one by one, it just gives you a very sharp attention to detail. It's a very good skill. But imagine us, right? We do not have much programming background, and right now everything is AI, and everybody's like speeding up their work. Everybody around the world, they're actually creating accelerated innovation and then creativity. They're having so much creativity and they're on track and they're doing everything fast. So we have to be on track. And how do we learn coding? Every programming language is different. They have different syntax, different commands, etc., etc. So thank God, because ChatGPT is such a blessing, because we don't need to memorize anything, right? All we need is just to use how to ask the questions, the right questions specifically, and prompt the generative AI. So the generative AI, the one that I use is ChatGPT, but then there are a lot of inbuilt AI softwares, AI extensions like Copilot, as one of you guys have mentioned, inbuilt in many different softwares. So moving on. Yes, the best thing about this generative AI is they're going to create the codes for you. So even though you don't know the syntax of, let's say, JavaScript or C or C++, these are basically programming languages that are used by different softwares for different development, right? So what we're going to use is, we have ChatGPT, right? Any platform that we're using. So right now we started with Excel. So here we need the VBA codes. So what we can easily generate the VBA codes with ChatGPT, just putting the specific prompt, right? The specific question, specific interrogation. If you just ask them to do this task while we define the headings, while we define the cells, then we're going to get the right codes. And then what we have to do is just copy it and paste it, and then we just add in the program, in the VBA, on the macros, just run, and then our job is done. So basically now we have learned how to use AI to actually do our data cleaning, right? So this is very interesting. Once I figured this out, I was like, okay, research is interesting, because the work that we could do for that would require us a long time. Now it just requires us to be a little bit smarter and let the AI find the codes for us, because we do not really know the details of certain programming language, which in this case is VBA. So what we can do is, okay, they're providing us the code, and now we're just making our job easier, right? And we don't have to find like a course, a 2-hour course to actually learn this programming language, or just learn another programming language, right? So this is actually where generative AI is extremely helpful and precious in this age, especially for our research. This is really a blessing. So moving on, this is actually, I have shown that. So data cleaning VS Code. Okay, so now we've gone with Excel. The best thing about Excel is, I'm pretty sure all of us that are from different departments, we are going to work with Excel. Even us, even in KOE, even in ICT, a lot of data that we collect. ICT, I'm pretty sure they deal with the huge amount of data, if they're from data science, etc. But for us, let's say we have data collection, and we definitely, almost all of us, we open in Excel. So now we know something a secret in Excel that we can apply AI with. So data cleaning in Excel is made easy. But there is another software, which is Visual Studio Code, VS Code. So basically, this is for programming languages. I'm pretty sure my computer science friends, you all know about this software, Visual Studio Code. It's actually very easy to download. So in this session, I'm not going to go in details with it. So I'm just going to tell you how easy it is. Like whenever you're free and you want to explore this, then you can just Google Visual Studio Code. Just let me show you. Just type VS Code. If it's for Mac, or else for Windows. So download Visual Studio Code. Make sure you download exactly that your computer prefers, whether it's Windows or Mac. So when you click on it, it's actually very simple and it's a free software. Basically, this is a studio where you can run all kinds of programming languages that we actually need. So here I have Visual Studio Code. After you download, it's going to be something like this. Welcome. So I'm pretty sure whoever, all among us who do not have a programming background, it just looks very complicated, too many letters, numbers, and it's just a bit scary, right? But actually, when you step by step create the codes, this computer science undergraduates, they actually work with codes. They create the codes one by one. Yes, you have to learn the syntax. You need to know what you want them to do, and then step by step you have to create the codes, right? And imagine the amount of mistakes that we can make. Like if you miss a single semicolon, there's an error, and maybe there's 9 lines of error. Then it just discourages you. Like as a beginner, I was very discouraged by looking at those errors, and then how to pass my subject. We actually had a subject called programming for engineers. It was challenging, but while we kept doing it and doing it again and again and again, it became fun. It became like a game. Like, okay, like how to avoid those red errors. So, but in research, we do not have time for errors. Like I know people who are professional or students who are very enthusiastic with programming, or they're from ICT background or computer science. It's easy for them. Okay, so it's a plus point for them to actually incorporate programming for data analysis and for huge amount of dealing with huge amount of data, right? But for me and most of us who are not from this background, it's going to be a huge barrier to actually accessing a lot of opportunities in our research if we do not have this background, how to use programming and use it for our benefit in terms of data analysis. There's a wide area of things we can do in our research if we know programming. That's why now we know how to use ChatGPT to actually just write the codes for us. The most important thing that I want you guys to take away with you today is understand the importance of prompting. So the skill that we need to develop at this point, in my opinion, is our prompting ability. Basically, asking the ChatGPT or any generative AI, Copilot, etc., just ask them what is it that you want, and ask in a way that they clearly have an idea of how to respond to you. Because as humans, we do remember what you're saying before. But if you actually give the details, like if in the generative AI, if you ask the question, and then again, if you ask a different question, then they just want to try to relate it, right? So there's actually a little bit of limitation with a human and then talking with the robot. So that's why our benefit lies in asking the prompt, like, prompting in a way that actually covers everything. And remember, the deal is in the details. So you have to add a little bit more details, create a prompt that actually is very comprehensive. So when it's comprehensive, then it's going to actually help you to come up with a very good output that actually supports you in your research. And if you can use this in your research, then it's a very big head start. So this is actually how the VS Code looks like. And today I don't want to overwhelm all of you how to use this one, but actually just this is just how, you're going to get started, because you need a platform where you can run all kind of programming languages. Like previously, you used to be like, okay, we know C programming languages, and we would download something that would only run C. That was like a few years ago in my undergraduate. So now then we know that in Java is important from a lot of companies. We know that, okay, the Java is important, and then Python is very more important. So you're going to see that there's so many programming languages. You need to know the syntax, you need to know how they work, etc., etc. But now that we have ChatGPT, we don't really need to learn any of them. So that's really advantageous for us, because we do not want to learn all those and confuse all with the letters, numbers, and everything. So basically, this software is like Excel. It's not really like Excel. Excel is something we know what we can do, right? But in this programming software, what we can do, what we have to do is we need to import the data. We have to import the data from Excel, and then we can apply a lot of extensions. Just let me have. Yes, so as you can see, this programming languages, C, Java, Python, etc. These are the programming languages you can run in Visual Studio Code, VS Code. So later, if you want to do data analysis or even data cleaning with programming softwares, then this is the place to go. And how you're going to generate the codes? You can generate it with the Copilot, or you can generate it with ChatGPT. Copilot is basically inbuilt in this, right? So I don't want to overwhelm with you guys with a lot of new knowledge. So let's stick with ChatGPT for now, because we're going to eventually discover a lot of things once we get started. So my aim here right now is for all of you to actually get started in this journey of, making AI your friend, your assistant, to actually help you throughout your research. Like you can command it to exactly help you specifically to obtain your objectives. So what we can do in Visual Studio Code is basically use ChatGPT for specific prompt, and then you get the result. And we can use a lot of extensions here. Okay, so in the future session, we can go deep into it. So the extensions will allow us to do different kind of data analysis, data visualization, because in our research, what we want to do is visualize our data from different angles, right? And the codes, why we choose programming. I know that Excel is easy, and right now we have VBA, so it's even more interesting now. But in Visual Studio Code, in programming, what you can do is we can actually be more creative. I know it's difficult to get into coding, but once we can break in, it opens a wide array of possibilities of data visualization, data analysis, and we can analyze a huge amount of data. But we can do that in Excel as well. But Visual Studio Code programming will allow us to get a wide range of functions, like that is limited to Excel. So, but a lot of us, our backgrounds, Excel is enough. But if you're creative and if you want to do more and you want to be a bit more competitive with the world out there, then I would recommend you to explore Visual Studio Code. And as I've shown you, you can easily download it, and then you can play around with some codes, right? You can have okay, let me just show you. In our previous ChatGPT, we asked them to create the VBA codes, right? This was our code. Look, write a VBA code to do the following tasks. So instead of this, because we said VBA, because we're using Excel. So let's say you are already exploring Visual Studio, VS Code, because you want to use programming languages, you want to use a bit something more advanced. That is later when you are deep into it. So instead of VBA code, you can write maybe Python codes or C++, like whichever language you're working with. And typically the next language that's widely used is Python. So instead of that, let's copy it again. Copy, paste. So instead of VBA, you can just say, right, Python code. Python is basically a programming language. And then sometimes there's Python, there's C, C++. So this depends on whatever software you're using. But in VS Code, you can use all of it. So let's say, write a Python code to do the following task. You see that? Not only they give us the codes here that we can easily copy, but they give us an explanation. This explanation is whenever you're free, let's say you're an IT student, you'll have an exam, then you will definitely try to understand every single step here. But if you're not, then only just copy the code, and then you can just apply it in the programming software. Because here, this is the code for Python. So Python, you can just use in the VS Code. You need to learn how to import the spreadsheet in the Python. Because right now, we did everything in Excel, right? We have the Excel sheet, and then we went to VBA, and then we did the programming, and then it's done. It's amazing. I feel like this is a very good skill in Excel, a very good integrated system in the Excel. That's amazing. Because a lot of us, most of us, I think all of us are using Excel. So that's crazy. But let's say if you want to do next level analysis, a bit more advanced, or maybe you want to upgrade your skill. Because when you want to graduate, you don't want to just graduate like, okay, thesis in this subject, like thesis in law, thesis in engineering. Maybe you want to upgrade your skills in LinkedIn, saying that, okay, I actually know coding. I know how to do maybe C. I have some experience running Python, SQL, etc. And even though you're using ChatGPT, but at least you know how to do it. You know how to prompt, right? That's all what we need. If you know how to prompt, we get the codes. And then we just know how to analyze the data in the VS Code. Then you're on track. So if you can do that, then that's actually an amazing skill in this day and age. And that's going to be really beneficial for you, even for your research, and even after research, like even less after you graduate and you do not want to be in the university. Maybe you want to go to a company, and oh my God, almost every single company has a section for AI right now, because this is inevitable. This is everywhere. And if you want to explore this, this is actually going to be an investment in the future, because your job opportunities or your opportunities in any way, they're not going to be limited to academics. They can be a bit open to a broader range of fields. You can go to oil and gas company or any company, because right now all these companies, they are actually shifting to AI. So this is going to be a very big advantage for you. And my aim right now was here to show you a glimpse of what is possible with AI and how it's easily helping us, especially people who with no programming background, how to get into it, how to crash into this new trend and actually be on track, and so that we can maintain our speed with the world and also enhance our creativity. So here you can see that, look at the codes. They are not same as the VBA codes. See here in programming softwares, we always need to import the spreadsheets. So here they're importing it, they're loading the Excel file, and that's the path, this. Okay. And finally, you're gonna get the results. So right now, let's just stick to the VBA code, do a little bit more practice, be a bit more creative in exploring this. And whenever you're free, just download VS Code and then just have a look at some tutorials and just enjoy, because programming is amazing, because this is such a creative field. It's like you learn a new language and you're able to create new things. It's like a game, like you're telling the computer what to do, and then it just opens up a lot of doors of possibility. Like, okay, like once you enter that, you're going to realize, okay, I can do this, I can do that, I can do that. So just you need to start. So, all right, so that's all. And these are all my findings on my way to my research. So I hope that it will benefit you. And if you guys have any questions, please feel free to let me know. And if I can answer you, I'm going to answer. If not, then I will get back to you later. So yeah. Please go ahead. Most welcome, everyone. Go to our YouTube channel. Okay. Thank you, Brother Faisal. Okay, one Salwati had a question. If we have two data, data A and data B, we would like to find the duplicate item. Is there any way using Excel? We would like to find the duplicate item. Yes. Yes. What you can do is in the chat GPT, remember we have these 4 tasks. In another task, you can say, we want to find the duplicate item. So you want to remove it or you want to keep it. Let's say if you want to remove it, then just add the task saying we want to remove any duplicated items. Give me a second. Show you. Remember how we have given them the commands? Remove all the blank rows, remove the records, change the date format, remove the entire reference column. Then we can say that find the duplicated items and sort them. We can either add number 5 as you said, find the duplicated items, and entire reference column, change the date, remove the records. So, okay, find the duplicated cells and remove it. Or you can just say remove the duplicated cells or remove the repeated. You have to say which one, repeated transaction number or repeated product name or product category. All right, so you can say remove the repeated product category. So from the four commands, you can add one more 5, right? So then the VBA codes are going to be generated accordingly. Let's go back. Most welcome, everyone. Is it possible to use AI to aid us in writing systematic review? Of course. Nifi Amin. Okay, it's a very good question. It is possible to use AI to aid us in writing a systematic review. Maybe we can have another session for that. But for now, I can say is I just have one word, prompting. So the thing is, we need to know different dimensions of prompting. If we can interrogate ChatGPT in a way, it will help us to write a very good systematic literature review. So I'm going to ask the organizer so we can actually explore another session where we can actually talk about writing a systematic review with the help of AI. That's a very good question, Nifi Amin. All right, Brother Faisal had shared the attendance, so please, recording will be uploaded. Okay. I hope I answered one Salwati's question. And also, please, in the meanwhile, click on this barcode, the code, and then, or click on this link to just fill up the form. And let us know how this session was. So this will allow us to cater to your needs and come up with better solutions for you and the workshop that are going to actually help you and enhance your skills so they can make you competitive with the world. Most welcome, everyone. So I hope you guys are clicking on this link in this code, in this scan code, and just filling up the form.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Amina, for your valuable presentation. We appreciate your clear and insightful sharing on data cleaning and machine learning mastery. Your tips and methods will help us better manage and understand AI. It was a pleasure to have you with us, and I believe we learned many new things today. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, now we have come to the end of session. Once again, we would like to express our heartfelt gratitude to the respected speaker and participants for your presence. Please don't forget to fill out the evaluation form provided in the chat box. Okay, before we end the session, can we have a photo group? And everybody open your camera and use the background zoom provided. Okay, everybody. Okay, page 1. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, second page. Okay, smile. Okay, third page. Okay, smile. Okay, last page. 1, 2, 3. Smile. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I would like to wrap up our session for today. On behalf of the organizers, we apologize for any shortcomings in handling this session. Hope to meet you again in the upcoming program, inshallah. Wishing you all a pleasant day and stay safe wherever you are. Let's end our session with the recitation of Tasbih Kifara and Surah Al-Asr. Okay, thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.